I remember how hard it was sometimes in school when I was growing up. Speedy learners with race cars for brains could answer questions quickly, while I would find myself struggling to understand what the teacher was even talking about. If you learn more slowly than others, I've got a nice surprise for you. You can do just as well, sometimes even better than fast learners. How? You'll see. In this video, we're going to talk about learning surprises. Sometimes what you believe about learning just isn't true. Take video games, for example. People often think they're bad for you, but some types of video games can actually be helpful for your learning.
Research shows that action video games can build your ability to focus attention. When you play an action video game, your mental mouse runs up and down an important central brain path. It's the focus path in your brain, and it gets wider the more you use it. It's not only action video games that are helpful. Games like Tetris can build your spatial ability to mentally rotate things in your mind's eye. This is an important skill in math and science. The downside to video games is that, like many other things, it can be addictive. Common sense and moderation are key.
And if you're into action-style games, introduce them to your parents and grandparents. Yes, research shows that action-style video games can help improve people's ability to focus and concentrate, even while they're older. I'll give you another learning surprise. Students who write their notes out by hand do better than those who type them. Why? Handwriting is slower than typing. Because it's slower, handwriting forces you to catch the key ideas. The process of figuring out key ideas starts to pull out dendritic spines, which helps you to start a set of brain links. If you review your notes one last time, not long before you go to sleep, you can nudge your dendritic spines to grow even better. Remember, just before you go to sleep, it's time to take a glance at the ideas to get them back in your mind, not time to do the actual studying.
Here's another learning surprise. Remember your friendly attentional octopus? That is, your working memory? Some people have fantastic octopuses with 8 or even more arms and incredibly sticky tentacles. People like this can easily hold a lot in their working memory. Nice. But a smaller working memory can also give advantages. People with only 3 arms on their attentional octopus can't hold a lot in mind very easily. To think about complex ideas, they have to create helpful brain links. These brain links help them to see elegant shortcuts that wouldn't occur to the person with a strong working memory.
This is why a hardworking person with a limited working memory can be a valuable study partner or to have on your team. They can hit upon simple but elegant insights that others miss. They can also be great at exploring complex ideas in simple ways.
More than that, people with poor working memories can be very creative. Research shows that when one thought slips from mind, another pops in. People with challenges with their ability to focus, like those with ADHD, can be particularly creative. You can think about it this way. Both the race car driver and the hiker get to the finish line. They just do it at different speeds. For the race car brain person, the scenery passes in a blur as they speed through their thinking. The hiker brain person, on the other hand, can reach out and touch the leaves on the trees, hear the birds singing, smell the pine in the air, and see the little rabbit trails. Oddly enough, this means that in some ways the hiker brain can see more deeply than the race car brain.
People can have hiker brains in some subjects and race car brains in other subjects. That's perfectly normal. Whenever you find yourself showing a hiker brain and taking more time to learn, be happy. You can still get to the finish line. In some ways, you can learn more deeply and see more creatively precisely because it takes you longer to learn. On the other hand, if you have a race car brain about a subject, you can also be happy because learning will go swiftly for you. But you'll also need to be careful not to jump to conclusions and avoid being overconfident. We'll talk more about this later. Next, we'll move on to one of the most important videos, how to prepare for tests. I'm Barb Oakley.
I'm Greg Hammonds.
And I'm Terry Sinofsky.
We and Arizona State University wish you happy learning.